Alright, a little quick tutorial just for you. I'm gonna fly one of these A320s. It's the first one I learned on, and it's probably one of the most reliable, easiest ones to deal with, to try to learn and get a successful flight in. So I thought it'd be a good starting one for you too. So there's a few things that we want to focus on. First, here the screens are important. This is your navigation. It's going to show the path that we're going to go from here to there, and this knob right here will zoom in and out of it. So that's something that we'll want to utilize. So if you zoom out, you can see the different waypoints, and that's the destination airport, the approach and everything. And you can see here that should be the top of our climb when we get up to where we're at, and that should be where we're going to have to start descending. So those are the things we're going to have to watch out for. So right now we'll keep that zoomed in. So just remember, this is going to be a go-to. And this whole area right here is your autopilot area, so we're going to be focusing a lot on these areas here. It says we're flight altitude, or we're going to go ahead and raise that up. I'm going to go ahead and fly at 20,000. So that's, hopefully that'll be our top. Alright, go ahead and push that in. Let's see. So the throttle here is another thing we're going to obviously need to take off and for landing. So you want to be able to grab both of these at the same time and push it up and pull it down. And on landing, you want to be able to grab these two things and pull that back, and that adds the reverse thrusters, so we'll need that on landing. Next thing you'll need to know down here are the spoilers and speed brakes. We'll use that a little bit, and these are the flaps. Those are important. So for takeoff, right now they're set at 1/4, and so we have to raise those once we get in the air, and we have to put them down when we land. The other important thing here is going to be the gear to bring the wheels up and down, and auto brake for landing, and that's about it for most of it that we'll need for a basic takeoff and landing. So let's go for it. Alright, so grab them both. Let's go full throttle. You got the rudder pedals. You use those to keep you straight for takeoff. You're going to want to watch your speed indicator here, and once you see that you're fast enough, which is indicated by this blue, I think once you're past this blue, you can't abort the takeoff. You have to take off, and you're fast enough, so go ahead and pull back gently, get it a little bit going. Once you're going, pull back a little more. Basically just want to avoid hitting your tail on the thing. Once you know you're climbing, you want to just raise that gear up and hit autopilot so it takes us where we're supposed to go. Now you grab these flaps, and if you're going fast enough, which we are, go ahead and raise them up. Well, that was close. We weren't really going fast enough, but we are now. We're speeding up. The beauty of the Autobus here is the auto thrusters are taking control of the speed and thrust. Alright, so what you want to do is once we're going, we want to pull this back a little bit, both engines, until it clicks right up in this. Whoop. You want to make sure they're exactly the same. You'll get an error. Ugh, come on. Alright, you want that to be right here in the CL position. And that's where you'll leave it for the rest of the flight. So right now, we're good. I think we're just gonna go with the flow and enjoy the flight. Oh yeah, we'll lower the spoiler. Turn the seatbelt sign on. I mean off. There we go. And we're good. We watch that. Oh, descent. No, wait, that's weird. We can't be descending already. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah. For some reason that looks backwards. I don't think that's right. Huh. Yeah, that's weird. Anyway. Yeah. just going to cruise down the coast here and land in Santa Barbara. Alright, so we're climbing up to 20,000. So once we get up to 20,000 and we're locked in at our top altitude, then we can do some things to prepare for the descent. One thing we need to know is the altitude we need to be at to intercept the ILS glide slope at our destination. So to do that, we're going to go to this computer here, and we're going to go to flight plan, and these are all the waypoints. So we're going to go all the way to the end. This is the runway. The runway is elevation 10 at 142 knots. So when we hit the runway, we want to be around 142 knots. But the waypoint right before that is 3850. So we want to be right around there or just under that at around 194 knots. And that's where we're going to intercept the glide slope. So we have to remember 3850. So yeah, I'll go in at 3800. Let's see. It looks like our... I don't know. I may have made a mistake in our altitudes. I'm not sure, because it looks like our top of climb and top of descent have reversed. So I'm really not sure what's going on with that. Once we hit 20,000, we'll get busy with the preparation for descent. This indicator here should tell us that our top of climb is right there, so that is about how far it'll be when we get up to 20,000. Maybe I shouldn't have raised our cruising altitude so high, but I didn't think it would be an issue. But maybe. The higher you are, the farther it is to get down. Obviously. But it's harder to get down than you think. If I had to land right down there or something, I wouldn't get down there in time. Okay, we are at our cruising altitude basically, so we just leveled off and we're gonna hold at 20,000. Now I hope this light being off means that it won't change. So now that we're up here, we're gonna prep for descent. So we know our altitude's gonna be 3,800. So I'm gonna test this real quick. I'm gonna lower it to 17 and make sure. Okay, so it's not changing. We're holding at 20,000. So if we're careful, I can set this. Alright. To 38. Alright. Don't push anything, you just set the number and wait. Now we're ready for when it's time. We're going to command it to drop from 20,000 to 3,800. And if we do it at the right time, we should glide right down as expected. So now to further prep, I'm pretty sure we're going to want to pull the spoiler up so the light is showing. Then we're going to go over here and we're going to push auto brake medium, which is that button there. Now we're going to go ahead and push this LS button right here. That's going to turn on our LS for the localization. So now you can see these little indicators here. Uh-oh. Were we supposed to slow down? Alright. I'm not sure if that was part of the flight plan or not. I guess it must have been part of the waypoint. Oh yeah, dropping down to 207 knots probably. Although it looks like it's set 142, that's not good. Anyway, so we're gonna follow this flight plan. Let's see, okay, so this is coming up on the final approach already, so once we come up to make this turn, I'm gonna go ahead and, oh shit, that means we are way behind. Alright, push this button, we need to descend fast. Yep, I blew it. For some reason, the top of... I knew that the top of descent and the top of climb got fucked up somehow. Alright. Well, this might be an issue. Anyway, we're going to try to descend now down to 3,800. And we have to get to 3,800 before we hit this waypoint. Oh, man. If that's the airport we're landing at, we're already fucked for sure. That can't be the right airport. Oh my god, I think that's it. Okay. Yeah, there's no way we're gonna do this. Well, this is a great tutorial. Really fucking screwed the pooch on this one. Yep. Alright. Well, let's see. Tell it to do that? Nope. Let's see how fast I can get this thing to go down. Yeah, we're screwed. Shit. Alright, I think my best choice is to break out of this before I hit that nav point. I hope it doesn't register. I'm pretty close. I'm pretty sure we're still locked onto that waypoint. So we're just gonna get away from it real quick. I'm gonna do a little loop, see if I can't get this to descend. I think at this point I'm just gonna clear this. And we'll hit that. The autopilot is turned off at this point, so we're just in a fall right now. I'm gonna take us down to yeah, about the 3,800 if I can. Let's go ahead and tilt it back a little bit. Alright. And we're gonna curl around and catch back on to our autopilot. Hopefully still be able to salvage this landing. So obviously this is not the ideal situation, but this is a nice little learning experience, I guess. Let's see if we can't get down to that runway. We're still dropping, but not very fast. Bring the nose down a little bit. Yeah, this is really dangerous. We'll go ahead and apply some speed brake so we don't go too fast. What that does is it lifts up some flaps on our wings out there and adds some air resistance. Alright, we're dropping pretty fast now. Pick it up a little bit now. Alright. Bank it in. We need to get underneath this dot, or this diamond here. back on autopilot. We're slowing down. We're at 38. We're underneath the glide slope. We got LS on. Alright, we are almost ready. Now I'm going to put the gear down. Speed brake off. Spoiler up. I'm going to go ahead and push this button here for the approach. And hit AP2. And I'm going to apply some flaps. Oop. One flap. We're going to go to 15%. Once we get below, I don't know, about 180 there, I'm going to give it, I'm going to give it half. There we go. Under 200 is half. At 180, I'm going to, fuck it, 3/4. There we go. 3/4. And then now we're going to go full flaps. Flaps at full. Alright, we are underneath that. We're going to stop at 140. We're still under control, so we should go to 140. Alright. We are caught by the glide indicator, so now we're dropping. We got both of these lined up perfectly. It's exactly what we want. Looks like we're go for a good successful landing now. All we have to do now is wait for it to go below minimals and tell us to retard the engines. We cut back all the power, throw on the reversers, stay on the runway until we stop applying brakes, and we land successfully. That's the plan. As you can see, everything is lined up perfectly. This is our path to the runway. We can switch this to the ILS indicators. You can see it's lined up. Everything's locked on.
2,500.
So now I always do another double check of everything. We got gear down, full flaps, spoiler on, auto brakes on. All indicators are aligned. Seatbelt signs. You guys want to buckle up back there. So if we descended on time, this is where we should have glided right in. It would have been a flawless landing. I won't change the altitude. We'll fly in at 11,000 next time. I'll try that. Sure seems like we're coming in kind of high, but the ILS has us. And it should be good. Now we just wait. It's crazy how automated these things are.
1,000.
Once we're hitting the runway, you want to be able to grab both throttles at the same time. So you get right in the middle, get a good grip on it, you pull it back to 0, right when it tells you to. Good old Santa Barbara Airport.
Hundred above. Minimum.
Alright. Minimum is basically the same as decision. We have to decide it. We should have decided by then if we were boarding tank or landing.
200.
We're doing it. Getting ready to pull the power.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard.
Pulling power. Boom. Alright. Backwards thrusters on. Oop, sorry. Use the pedals. kept me lined up pretty well. The auto brakes and the backwards thrusters are stopping me plenty of time, so go ahead and turn those reverse thrusters off. Oop, it's a little finicky. And we're at a stop. Here we are at the airport. Kill the autopilot and give it a little power. Go ahead and raise those flaps. Oh. Alright, I have to kill those brakes there. We'll taxi on out of here. Get off this runway. Oop, someone's trying to land there. Yeah, the air traffic control here is crazy. I'm out of the way. Barely. I don't have to get out of the way. But go come into my parking spot here. Ooh. Uh-oh. Wild, wild, wild. Ah, I'm out of control. Sweet. Well, we did it. Parked here in my spot. Let's see, parking brake. Let's see how I did. Oop. Eh, not bad. Almost on the line. It's one of the better jobs I've done. I think I've only parked better one other time. Cool. Well, cool. There you have it. Throttle, flaps, spoilers, zoom knob, speed indicator, autopilot, speed, heading, altitude. Yeah, that's all the shit you need to know, man. You can fly this thing. So, cool. Can't wait for you to check it out from the inside.